everybody. Good evening, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of According2Sacha Podcast. I know it's been a while. We're here kicking off season 6. This is the first episode of season 6, and we are everywhere. I believe we're now on Instagram, going live. I hope we're going live over there. But thank you for just being a great supporter, everyone. Thank you for everything. We've been here with you guys for several seasons and several episodes, and we always bring in amazing guests to the platform. Tonight, I have my special guest, Dr. Cozette M. She is the financial physician, you guys. So this is the perfect timing right here. We're in the top of the year, first quarter, almost out the door, and we're going to start the next quarter. And also, we're in tax season. So Dr. White, she has a lot of information, a lot of things we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of get into her business, see how she got started, what's her passion, and all those good things. But first, we'll go with, remember, you guys, what I always say, you have to like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share all of our platforms. We're scrolling all down at the bottom, and we are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter is X now, and now Instagram. And we will also bring our platform to the WhatsApp channel. Yes, we do have an According2Sacha WhatsApp channel. And so if everyone's watching, if you're on WhatsApp, definitely follow our channel and you can catch us there as well. And so without further ado, I am going to have one video to play prior to me bringing up Dr. White, and we'll be right back. Entrepreneurship, small business, is something that everybody would love to do, making their own money. And this is what we will be talking about on According2Sacha. Hi, Dr. Cozette. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you so much. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, helping us kick off the first episode of season 6. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amen. First one.
Yes, first one of season 6. We've been here. We've been trekking these podcast streets for a while now. So we're after a nice long break. We are here and we're back and we're glad to have you. And for our audience who don't know you, I would like for you to tell them, who is Dr. Cozette M. White?
All right. So first of all, thank you again for having me on the show. Who am I? Of course, I am a mother. I am a brand new grandmother, you guys. I am an aunt, a sister, and I am the tax financial physician. I am the one who clients come to help them get out of trouble with the Internal Revenue Service. I help individuals look at their financial statements, truly understand what's happening with those financial statements, and really giving back to the community, to small business owners, so that we are keeping money, that hard-earned money, you guys, that we earn through taxes, through tax strategy, through tax planning. That's who I am. I am also an advocate for financial literacy. I teach our children, you all, our youth. What does it mean to save? What does it mean to build financial legacy? What is generational wealth? I also go in, I teach them about how to grocery shop, interest, dividends, stock, all of that. So I am truly your financial physician.
I love it. I love all of the above. I mean, I'm just glad that you just broke that down, because that was going to be one of my questions. Like, how did you come to be the financial physician? But you know what? It's like when we think about our finances, we think about income, money, anything we're bringing in, our mindset and everything, how we can need a dose of medical attention when it comes down to, getting us right in those ways, and how if we don't do well with it, it is a sickly process. So I do understand that whole thing with a financial physician. That's amazing and wonderful. And it's a perfect timing that I have you here kicking off the show, because we're in March and business taxes are almost due. And I know a lot of people are probably still, shuffling through the papers, trying to get it together and everything. So I would ask you this. So how did you get all involved? Like, why was this your passion?
Absolutely. I love when people ask me this, because the passion truly comes out. For all of you, I started back in corporate America working in the accounting department, and love what I did. Truly, I love what I did. I love the fact that I was going to work, getting a check, paying bills, and broke, right? But I also had this true passion once I actually started my own business, which was a hobby back in the day, to truly understand and help other business owners understand what does it look like to get our books in order. In most of our communities, we hear start a job or start a business, or we hear go to school, get a good job, and go work forever, get a job that has pension, etc. Well, for me, it was go to school, get that job. But once I had that job, I didn't really like working in corporate America. Part of it was the stubbornness and listening to other people. Part of it was just that passion in me. I had the opportunity to work for Fortune 500 companies, you guys. We're talking about assets of 52 million, 100 million. And I got tired of playing big or really small because I was playing big, but in corporate I was just another person. I was helping them do books, financials, treasury management, taxes, and I got to a point where it's like, there's so many other people that could truly benefit from what I have to offer because I did not feel appreciated in corporate America. And I just left. And when I say I left one day, you guys, I left one day because I had been building over here this hobby. And so I had to take this hobby and turn it into something that became very lucrative to generate money, to turn it into a company where I was able to hire and put 401k plans in place for employees and benefits and things of that nature. So that's the passion that got me to where I was. And let me just say this to all of you. It may sound like it was easy getting there, but it wasn't. I had stones thrown at me along the way. And earlier on in my late 20s, early 30s, like I went through financial problems. And so those problems that I actually experienced allowed me to help someone else by sharing my story, by telling my story and allowing others to implement some things to help them get out of whatever they may be in. At one point, yes, I filed for bankruptcy because some things happened. Yes, I got in trouble in my late 20s, early 30s with credit card debt, but I had to get out of those things. I learned my lesson and I turned those lessons into showing other people how to get themselves out of debt, how to not stay in the valley, but how you can rise. And so that's my passion, just helping our communities, helping our Black and Brown understand what does it look like to build generational wealth. That's just a tad bit of the story, y'all.
If that's a tad bit, oh my gosh, just if we had more time to just dig into all of it, that would be so amazing. And you said, I mean, I really love how you got started because a lot of times people will look at, people, I mean, social media is everything, right? And we could get on social media, we could post our pictures, we could post how much we're doing or how we're doing, but you're only going to see what people give you. And for
Exactly.
you, even being transparent about, hey, you went through it too. And sometimes it's like, that's the best teacher,
Yeah.
for some people, for somebody who have actually gone through the struggle, who've been there, done that. And it's not just, oh, I worked in corporate alone or had the education. No, you had the education, you had corporate, and you have personal experience. And,
Yes.
when you pull yourself out of something like that and you're like, you know what, you had your aha moment, you got out of it, and now you're just pouring those aha moments into everyone else. And
Mhm.
that is amazing in itself, and thank you for even taking that on because dealing with financials is not an easy thing.
No.
You got to have the mindset for it and you got to have the heart to deal with it.
Exactly. And you just said something. So, really, like, mindset is everything, you guys.
Yeah.
Everything we do is truly about our mindset. And in problems that we had in our youth, problems that we may have encountered as an adult, all shape the way we think and feel about life, about money. And I'm going to say money because how we experience going through paying a bill, whether we saw someone who said, oh, just put it to the side, I'll take care of it,
Mhm.
or we saw that one who was a saver that says, no, let's handle this. It shapes how we currently feel about money, how we think about money. And I say this: money is energy, and we need to put it out in order for in order for money to come back to us. It's energy. It has to flow in order for it to come back to us.
Yes, yes, yes. And I love that. And so many people, that's the part in us, I'll say us, because we all had something, we be honest with it, and but when we come out of it, we have this different experience. And then the thing is not going back. And I love how you just placed it. It's like, okay, money is energy. It has to go out. It has to go out, and it goes in the right compartments. It goes into the right places. So if you have bills, let your money go out, pay those bills, because in the return, you don't have headaches, you don't have stress,
Right.
it's good for your
Right.
mental. But then it's also good for your credit and everything like that. So do you work in the credit aspect of it too, or more
I
so
don't
just
really I don't really work in the credit aspect of it. My
Mhm.
experience is based upon earlier on getting myself my credit back in order to the magnitude of which it is needed to.
Mhm.
And I'm proud to say to anybody, like, it's right at 800, y'all. Like, it was poor. It was poor. It was poor. It was poor.
Mhm. So let's
But
get going down with it.
and I'm okay because
Yeah.
it was there, but what was the progress and how did I get back on track? And that's what I teach. How did I get back on track? I consider myself to be mature when it comes to my finances right now. Putting a life insurance and policy, getting the credit in order, putting the
Mhm.
wills, the trust, making sure that I prepared myself, made sure that I saved. Oops, something popped up. Make sure that I saved enough in those 401ks. Make sure that I invested. Make sure that I put some invested in some things that are gonna be around for the grandchildren.
Yes.
Property, investment property, some flips, some property. So did some things. So the experiences just kind of led me to teach.
Yeah. That's good. And then by you putting everything, like you said, the trust, the insurances, the generational wealth, all those components for generational wealth. And when we think about legacy, and that's really what it's all about. And, I have a client, and he's a life coach and a financial coach, and you're just echoing a lot of things that he will talk about. And, and it makes so much sense. So if
Mhm.
we're looking at business owners, right? So
Yes,
what would be some tips you would give a business owner who is just starting out, just they're fresh, they're green. What are some
absolutely.
tips?
So for my brand new business owners, a lot of times we spend our hard-earned money, probably from a job, using
Mhm.
other people's money to get started. What I want to share with you guys is, let's not spend money so much on the things such as the marketing, the branding, and things of that nature. I need
Mhm.
for you guys to really invest in a financial advisor, someone that's going to help you from the jump start, setting
Mhm.
that business up correctly, putting a budget or a forecast together for you to see where your money really is. What do you need to do? Look at some strategies on how you can grow fast, not
Mm.
slow, fast. Do some things in 3 years that some are still doing in their 10 years in business, 5 years, a year, but get with a financial advisor so that we can help you guide your business. We can also help you truly understand what does it look like to put that balance sheet together
Mhm.
and that profit and loss statement. Okay, your financial statements, the balance sheet. I'm a tax guru. I oftentimes see small business owners come in here and they give me all of their expenses. I'm like, well, where's the income? I didn't make that much. Do I have to report it? Yes. I
Yes.
want to see the income, what came in. I want to see what came out. But I also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to see your balance sheet because that's going to tell me how healthy your organization is. I hear all of you guys say, I don't have any assets. You have cars, you have
Mhm.
equipment, you have a bank account, a savings account, and you also have some debt because you are the owner and you're probably lending money to your business as a brand new owner. So you do have a balance sheet. But let's work at cash flow management. What's
Mhm.
the cash coming in? Well, it's not coming in for another 3 weeks. Well, what do we need to do strategically? That's where I come in. That's where I help on the front end. On the
Mhm.
back end, I'm helping you implement and put some things in place so that our tax bill is low. I'm helping you throughout the 12 months implement some strategies that we can do right now, today in March, that will help you at the end of the year and next year when you go file your return. Because in December, I want to see you in the black.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Yes.
to see you having some savings. I want to see you implement some strategies that you're keeping your money and reducing your tax bill at the same time. That's strategy, you guys. So as a brand new owner, make sure you get a tax advisor. Let me just explain, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to explain this to you all. We have an accountant. That is the person that is doing the books. We have a certified public accountant that is a CPA. He or she is probably auditing the books or certifying what you are providing is accurate. They do audits, things of that nature. We have an enrolled agent. That person can represent you for taxes. It doesn't matter what state you reside in. A CPA is certified in the state in which they reside in. They may be licensed in other states, but they're on a state level. An enrolled agent is national government, so they can represent you. It doesn't matter what state. And then our tax attorney, of course, can represent you in any state. So if you're wondering who to hire, you're on a budget, go with the accountant first. Not all accountants do taxes, so you may need to get someone that's tax. I'm blessed. I have both sides, the tax and the accounting. So that's where I want you guys to start. Have an attorney on your team, not just as needed, to read through things.
Yeah. That's
And
really
then
good.
go for all the fun stuff, the marketing, the business coaches, all of those things. I am in no shape, form, or fashion not telling you to look for a coach. I need for every business owner to have a coach. A coach is going to help you get there quicker than you doing it on your own. Trust me when I say it.
Those are some amazing tips. I mean, and you put it in a way that a lot of people really don't think about, because the normal, trajectory is, okay, yeah, well, for most people, it's, okay, I'm starting my business. I'm going to get the LLC. They're going to do all the formations and everything, because that's what everybody says. They're going to try to go get business credit, because that's what everyone says. And they'll say, oh, I need a target audience, and what's my sales? And they go out and do it. And, a lot of times I tell people, when you go that way, you don't have anything sustained if you are successful.
Right.
But the way you gave it, it's like, okay, no, do the financial advisor. And it's amazing if the financial advisor is all in one, right? And then they just tracking with you the whole way through. But
And here's the good thing about it. You just said something. By planning, guess what? You can still plan and still go get that business credit. When you go get business credit, and I'm about to keep it real, you guys, when you go get business credit, those first couple of months, you doing what whoever is setting you up, you going to buy products from Uline, you going to buy products from this person, this person. Can you really afford it?
Yes.
By planning and strategically doing it, we can say, okay, this month, we know you're building your credit. Go ahead and buy this product. We're going to offset it. We're going to have a business line expense for supplies. Next, we know when you're going to pay it off. You got net 30. We're going to pay it off. We don't have the cash coming in, so let's hold off. Don't do it.
Right.
So strategy, you guys, everything is strategy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strategy. We're going to get you set up with the LLC. We're not going to say S Corp, what you guys are hearing out there on TikTok and Instagram, but we're going to get you set up correctly so that one thing leads to the next. Yeah. And do it successfully and come out winning.
That's good. I love that. So let's talk to the people. Have you been following like the new reporting requirements and everything with BOI and FinCEN? So talk to the people a little bit about that, since that's so brand new.
Absolutely. So as you guys may or may not have heard, as of January 1 of this year, there was something implemented called BOI. And what it basically states is that all business owners must complete, I'm going to say it's an informational form, you guys, because that is pretty much what it is. But we must complete that starting January 1 of 2024 is when 2025, is when the BOI report is due. Okay, we must complete that. If you start a new business And I don't want to give you guys incorrect information, because if you start a business this year, I believe that the due dates are different. But what I want you to know is, when you go to your tax professional this year, I want you guys to make sure that if you've already gone to them, great. But I still want you to say this: send them an email, give them a call, and say, I just heard there's a requirement, BOI. What is it that I need to get you? What is it that I need to do?
Yeah.
That is what I need you guys to know. And what I really want you to know is that if you do not do it, there are penalties and fines for every single business that you have. If you have 3 businesses, you must complete a BOI form for business 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, each of those businesses will be hit with penalties and fines. And from what I understand, the last update I got, it is expensive. I want to say it was $500 a day, but I don't want to put that negative information out there. But I do want you to go to your tax professional and ask them, do they specialize in this? Will they be helping you as a business owner? Ask them to help you. If they are not taking on that as a service, ask them, who can they refer you to that is actually completing BOIs. You do not want to sleep on it. You do not want to sleep on it. You want to get it done early than late. The penalties are stiff. That's what I would say.
That's awesome. And I would also add, like, even like you said, go to your tax professional. But if you are in a position where you're about to hire a business coach or something, make sure that business coach understands that and can help you set it, especially if you haven't even done your LLC or anything like that. That's something you could do all at once. Do the LLC, create that LLC, and then go from there, EIN, BOI, like just go ahead and knock it all out all at once, and then you're straight for the year. And then also with you have to do it for each business. That means there's no more mingling businesses again. It's like people would say, oh, I do this, and everything's all under one thing, in a sense, but they're still doing it separately. That gets rid of that too.
Right. If you think about it, you guys, they're just setting up to know a little bit more about our businesses, who we are, what we do. My husband is in the credit union, and he shared this with me a few months back, that they received a notice from, I don't remember which agency it was, but trying to implement something whereby the financial institutions would be responsible for uploading bank information about every business owner to the Internal Revenue Service. Ain't they nosy?
They are nosy. And
I don't believe it's gonna pass, but just to know, uploading our documents, that means that no one can say that they made 100,000 on their return when they may have made 200,000 under reporting income. They want to know as it happens, you guys. So it's just another way to track who we are, what we do, and know a little bit more about our businesses. They know all about us, you guys. I want you guys to know that. They know all about you. They know about you. They know about you. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And I would say it forces, because you have people that do things, they dot the I's and cross the T's, but it means it really forces you to want to do it right.
Yes.
And to be accountable to your own self first. I mean, that process is being accountable to the government and to make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and you say what you have is what you have. But it should get you in a place where you want to know. You want to know how much money is coming in. You want to know what your expenses look like. You want to balance it out. It's like you said, your balance sheet. You want to look at those things. And that makes it even more, if you can't do it by yourself, go to an accountant,
Right.
Even if it's somebody just to coach you along the way. I mean, however you work it out with them, but you want to make sure that you're in position, not just for government's sake, but be in position for yourself. Because that's how you can see if you're hitting those goals, the financial goals and so forth. Are you really in your budget, or are you outside the budget? Like whatever it is. And then would you say, now this is a good one. I'm gonna segue into this. How you do in your business can reflect on how you're with your personal finances. So what are some tips if anybody's watching it, not even in a business or anything, but they want to do better financially or with their own situations they have going on? What would you say to them?
I'm going to answer that question. And really quickly, I also want to piggyback on something you said.
Yes.
Our financial statements, you all, not only do we need to understand, But for those of you that are setting up your business credit, at some point you may get into a situation where a financial institution, a lender, is going to ask you for your profit and loss statement or your balance sheet. So you want to maintain those for a lot of different reasons. Not, you don't want to get yourself in a situation where by a bank is asking, then you got to scramble and have it created. Okay. So keep that in mind. But onto the question of how do we take on and become financially responsible and not commingle. I think that was probably all of it. But listen, we want to make sure, number one, we are paying ourselves. We want to make sure, and when I say pay yourself, that means set aside a certain percentage. If you get a paycheck, if you put away to your 401k, great. But I need for you guys to also begin to start saving besides what you're putting away for the at the job. Start an IRA. Start a money market account. Start a CD. There are different things that we can do to begin to save just a little, you guys. I'm not even saying an enormous amount. Yes, we realize that the economy is not where we would like to see it. Prices are gone up, things have gone up, but we have got to start somewhere. And each little savings that we put away will amount to something great, to something big. Okay. So start where you are, put something away on a daily basis, and just begin, you guys, to start taking personal accountability for your financial situation. If you have credit card debt, open the mail, take responsibility for it, decide which bills you are going to begin to start paying off first. If you got $10,000 in debt, 20,000 in debt, I have some clients who are upset with $5,000 on a credit card. So, but when I hear them say that in comparison to what the national credit card debt amount is, I'm like, that's a bucket. You can pay, that's nothing. That's just, you can pay that off.
Yeah.
Little steps. And I say just start facing the music and coming to reality that I got to be responsible for my money. I
Mhm.
got to be responsible for getting life insurance. We as a community, we shy away from that. I hear many people saying, oh, I don't need life insurance. It's on the job. Look into it for real. Is it really on the job?
Right.
Is it really on the job? Have you looked into the fine print? If you go to your employer and ask them for a copy of your life insurance policy, can they give that to you? If
Mhm.
the answer is no, it's a group life insurance policy. Invest in getting a life insurance policy, especially if you're young. So I just got some, I could go on and on, but those are just a few tips. Open the mail, take personal accountability for your financial situation, and begin to save. Pay yourself first.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for those wonderful tips. And I know that you're not just, handling in finances or anything. There are some other things you do within your business too. I think you deal with public relations and things like that. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. So, if you guys look me up, do a little bit of research. I have actually self-published to the tune of about, I think it's 14 books right now. I just recently in November, I released 2 books for our children on financial literacy and 4 coloring books. The coloring books are on affirmations for our youth, positive affirmation, affirming who they are as young Black and Brown children. And then I put some coloring books together about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, allowing our Black and Brown children to really see themselves in different positions. We know what they see on television. I wanted them to have the image of doctors, lawyers, chiropractors, accountants, insurance agents, cosmetologists. I wanted them to see themselves in the light of something else. So I am an author, but I also help others become published authors. And I also work with others in getting them published in national publications, whether that is in print, out of print, whether that is being on national television or local television. That is what I help business owners accomplish. We all want to be seen as the expert, and PR is one great way to be seen, be known, and be heard.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And that's wonderful. So you just, every time you speak, you amaze me. And so it's like we go from finances to PR. So how do you even get involved in that? What was your beginning with
My
just
beginning, I mean, I have so many beginnings, and this is truly how it started, you guys. Probably about 10 years ago, I made a post on social media about whether or not do you give your child allowance or do you make them earn it. Long story short, it went viral. I ended up in Black Enterprise. That led me to ABC talking about allowance. And one thing just led to another. I began to start writing for different publications. And next thing I know, I started getting invites to write for publications. And so I'm a what you call that quiet storm in the
yeah.
background. I write for various magazines, national magazines,
Mhm.
and sometimes I just quietly place individuals in these magazines and get them on television.
That's
Good
amazing.
Morning America, Black Enterprise, different ones.
Okay, wonderful. And visibility is so much, important for a business owner, entrepreneur. And I'm a firm believer that you lead your company with your personal brand and how you be out there, how you get out there, you show yourself as the authority, as expert. And when you're able to do that, it's so phenomenal, especially when you do it yourself. That's
Right,
the that's the that's the ticket
right,
right there.
right,
And
right.
so I commend you on all of those wonderful accomplishments and everything. I'm just enjoying our conversation tonight and just getting to know you more here. And everyone else, I'm hoping that you are enjoying this conversation as well and that you're joining in and you're listening, whether you're watching live or you're going to catch the replay. But Dr. Green, Dr. Green, I'm looking at your shirt
That's
saying Green.
okay.
Dr. White.
That's okay.
Dr. White has really dropped some gems, you guys, that you can use right now. And I definitely want you to her information. I threw it into the chat. Her contact information is in the show notes as well, with the on YouTube and here on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And I definitely want you guys to contact her. I mean, we're in a season right now where we got to get our money right. We have to look at these things. We don't know where the atmosphere or the environment is going to go within our society when it comes down to the financials here, and whether we're going to a recession or whatever, or we're on a teeter, whatever that can happen, you always want to be prepared. And just like even with COVID, when the COVID happened, so many people were not prepared, of something that was just so unforeseen. We never knew it was going to happen or take place, but it put everybody on the same playing scale. It depends on how much money you had. So you want to look at those situations and allow that to teach you to get it right and get it ready, because you don't know what else can happen down the road. So any final words that you would like to give to our audience before we leave tonight?
Again, as I said earlier, you guys just continue to pay yourselves. Make sure you take personal accountability for your finances, and make sure you guys follow me. Follow me on all social media outlets at Cozette M White Enterprise or Cozette M White Enterprises at Cozette M White. Just follow me. I'm on all the major platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I also have a YouTube channel. So if you guys have questions about taxes, about building your business from the financial aspect, you need some PR, make sure you just reach out to me. If you're interested in starting in the tax industry, just give me a jingle. I am a IRS authorized continuing education provider. So I teach. I
Okay.
literally teach you guys the ins and outs. And so you'll be under a great instructor.
Well, that's wonderful. If anybody's out there who's been in taxes, you guys know what that means. And I've had my years of taxes and know that continuing education every year you have to do, and to make sure that you're ready and able to handle
Yeah.
people's taxes. So you're amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. It
Thank
has
you.
been a pleasure, you guys. And hopefully someone picked up one nugget, two nugget, or something that I said today.
Absolutely. And it's been a pleasure having you here tonight. Thank you guys for watching and catching the replay and even listening on the different streaming platforms that we're on, like Spotify. And we'll be back next Thursday with another episode. I don't know. I'm about to say Friday. I might need to change that. We'll be back next week with another episode. And thank you so much, Dr. White, for being here. And thank you, everybody. Remember to command your day and be great in everything you do. We'll be back next time. Bye-bye.